This makes me again sound like a stalker. That's my favorite white boy. This is Glee Project Erasure. She's an out and proud lesbian. A win for the girls. Hi friends, how are you? I hope that you're very, very well. So today I'm going to be talking about the Glee Project and what everybody on the Glee Project is up to now. I did a few videos, you know, reminiscing, watching back old episodes of the Glee Project, and I did mention that basically whilst I was watching the show, I was also Googling people and just having a look at what they're up to now, and today I'm going to share what I found. This stuff is information that I found online, so it's not all potentially going to be 100% true. We all know that the internet lies, but this is what I can find about what people are doing in their lives, where they're based, what kind of jobs they're doing. Yeah, so if I do get anything wrong, obviously I don't know these people in real life. This is just what I found through my digging on the internet. If you don't know me, by the way, my name's Amy. I make a lot of theatre content, a lot of Glee content, so if you like that kind of thing, then please subscribe. Okay, let's get started. Okay, let's start with first person from season 1 to be eliminated first week, Bryce Ross Johnson, but is now known as Bryce Vine. Bryce is one of the biggest stars of the Glee Project. As I say, he was kicked out of the first week. Ridiculous. The song that he was given for his like last chance performance was Just the Way You Are by Bruno Mars, which was completely out of his vocal range, and it's so unfair. So I felt really sorry for him, but he's gone on to be very successful. So who's winning in the end? So after the Glee Project, he basically dropped out of Berkeley where he was going to college and got signed with a record label, like basically straight away. And he's been a massive success in kind of the pop world. Now, I'll be honest, I only listen to musicals and Taylor Swift songs, so I don't know any of his songs. I did have a listen and I was like, maybe I've heard them somewhere. I hadn't. So his most popular song is called Drew Barrymore, and it's got like 68 million views on YouTube, so he's doing something right. The main like line of the song is like, "You're the next Drew Barry and I want more." And I appreciate that. When I was looking on other people's Instagrams from people who'd been on the Glee Project, Bryce seems like somebody who's very active in messaging other people and commenting on people's stuff. And whenever you go on pictures, Bryce is always there like hyping somebody up, and he seems like such a nice guy. He's also aged like a fine wine, and he just seems like a lovely guy. Next we have Maxfield Camp, Max, who went out the first week on season 2. He was the guy who was like, I've been singing for like a week. He is still making music. He's now married and he's got 2 little kids. His family is beautiful. He's an award-winning songwriter now. He seems to live in Nashville, still performing, still writing music. Okay, next we're gonna go on to Taryn Douglas, who was also from season 2. She actually chose to leave the competition. Taryn has a YouTube channel. She now goes by Taryn Michael Mai, and I really want her to do a video on being on the Glee Project because she does talk about her life. She's a professional makeup artist and she talks about that on YouTube, and I would love it if she did a Glee Project video because it would be so interesting to hear from somebody who was actually in the Glee Project. Her last video that she posted was kind of an update on her life and talking about some pretty heavy topics, but she seems to be a really self-motivated person. She's talking about like starting a new business this year, and generally she seems like she's on the right track and she's doing well. Okay, next we have Ellis Wiley, who went out in season 1. Ellis seems to now be based in New Mexico, I believe. I think she lives on a farm or works on a farm. She's with horses a lot and it's very cute. I couldn't really find anything about her still performing, but she is a cat mom. She takes her cats out in a little backpack, takes them on little walks around the desert in New Mexico. She's also had some fantastic haircuts since leaving the Glee Project. I will share some here. And yeah, she seems like she's just living a very normal, happy life. Okay, next we have Danny Shay, who went out in season 2. Danny identifies as non-binary trans-masculine. They put up a really interesting post all about gender and where they think they fit in society with their gender and everything. It's very interesting. Highly recommend checking it out. Danny is still acting. They were in a short TV series and a horror movie the year before. Danny seems to have lost their dad in 2020. They posted something about that at the end of the year, but there really hasn't been much of an update since then. So that's as much as I could get on Danny. Next we have Emily Vasquez, who went out in season 1. So I couldn't find a specific Instagram that seemed seem to be like just Emily's page. Maybe she's got a private Instagram or whatever, but she does run an Instagram and does like Facebook Lives with her sister and seems to have some kind of production company around it.
Hi, I'm just editing and I just realised getting the pictures and stuff for this video. I had been looking at her brother's Instagram account. So the one that she runs actually with her sister is called La Lucia Productions. And that's it there.
They do lots of like skits and little scenes and things. She's still singing. She lives in New York. I think that she potentially maybe worked for like the Ellen show or something at some point. I found her Twitter and she's not updated it in a really long time, like 5 years. When it was on there, it seemed that she was tweeting out kind of casting for reality TV shows or casting for the Ellen show. So I thought that was quite interesting. Next we have Mario Bonds, who went out in season 2. So Mario went on to try out for American Idol, and he is now a motivational speaker, and he has recently released an album as well. I watched a really interesting interview that he did. It's on his Instagram now if you want to go and check it out, where basically he was talking about his motivational speaking and his experience with bullying growing up. He was so moving, and I just thought he seems like such a well-rounded, nice guy. But even better than motivational speaking, releasing his own music, Mario is a father. He's adopted 4 children from age 8 to 16, which is incredible. Older children are notoriously harder to find adoptive parents once they go into the system, and it is so incredible that he's adopted 4 older children, and he seems to be a great dad, just living a great life. I'm so happy for him. Okay, so next we have Tyler. I do want to say, by the way, in my last video where I talked about the Glee project, I used Tyler's incorrect pronouns. I used the ones that had been used on the show, and I hadn't realized that Tyler's correct pronouns are now they, them. So I just wanted to apologize if I upset anybody with that. It wasn't my intention at all. Since the Glee project, Tyler has become an editor. They've worked on Them magazine, worked for the New York Times. Back in 2015, Miley Cyrus took Tyler as her date to the Foundation for AIDS Research, and then Tyler then became friends with Ariana Grande. Can I just say, you might see a familiar face if you look in the Positions music video, because right next to Ariana Grande is Tyler from the Glee project. Incredible. So happy for them. And so as I say, Tyler seems to be living their best life, and you know, when you're besties with Ariana Grande, can it get any better than that? These are the questions I'm asking. Okay, so next we have Mckinley Abraham, who went out in season 1. Mckinley now goes as Mickey, I believe, or Mikey. I've only seen her name written down, so if I said that wrong, then I am sorry. She is basically now a life coach. She does still do theatre work, but obviously theatres are pretty much closed at the moment, so she seems to be doing a lot of life coach work. She said that basically she did a show where she was told that she was too fat, and she was thinking, I don't know how to kind of healthily deal with this kind of feedback on my body and everything, and so throughout trying to find more helpful coping mechanisms with negativity within the performing arts industry, she then in 2018 became a licensed life coach, and honestly she looks like she is thriving. She does a lot of like wellness, mental health, physical health, spirituality, just generally finding happiness in yourself, and she has such a positive Instagram. She has like merch and a clothing line for her life coach work. She has a jumper that she released that says, I am the one thing in life I can control, and the money from that jumper actually goes to the Actors Fund to help people who are struggling whilst theatres are closed. But honestly, she just seems so happy, and I love that for her. Next we have Charlie, who went out in season 2. Charlie's still making music, still acting. He was in Speaking in Tongues, Abandon, King Rat, but throughout the pandemic he is a healthcare worker, and you will be happy to know that he is vaccinated against COVID-19. Big cheer for Charlie, our key worker. Woohoo! Thank you, yay! Next we have Matthias Fernandez, who went out in season 1. So Matthias seems to be living in LA with his boyfriend and seems to be having a great time. They are a very cute couple. I'm so happy for them. After the Glee project, Matthias went on to American Idol, and he did get through a few rounds on the show. Something that did ever so slightly bother me was he was being interviewed by Ryan Seacrest, and he was like, I've never done anything like this before. I normally just sing in the car or at home. And it's like, what about the Glee project? This is Glee Project Erasure. Now I know that reality TV is fake and they tell people what to say, and it's probably just that they were like, pretend like you weren't on the Glee Project. Glee Project Erasure is not welcome in this house. So I couldn't find much else other than the fact that he was on the American Idol and he's living in LA with his boyfriend, but seems to be having a great time. Next we have Nelly, who went out in season 2. So Nelly has had such an interesting career since the Glee Project. She is still releasing music. She released a song last year called Finish. She also shaved her head last year, but she really suits it, and I just thought I'd mention that she shaved her head. Nelly is also a set designer and a model creator for like stop motion animation. Stop motion animation? Is that what it is? Stop motion animation. Is that what it's called? She worked on Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. She's done a lot of kind of filmy TV set stuff, and her Instagram is full of pictures of her like in a workshop with a drill and a saw, and it's like, women. She is also aged like a very fine wine. She's looking great. She has a dog called Maybe, which is a very cute name for a dog and reminds me of Annie. Okay, next we have Marissa Von Blaken. So I couldn't find a huge amount about Marissa. However, I did find one really big thing, but then after that, not so much. So basically, after the show, she was on an episode of Catfish. I know, with Tracy Toms. If you don't know who Tracy Toms is, she plays one of Andy Sachs's really mean friends in The Devil Wears Prada. You know, when they're out for dinner and Miranda Priestley phones, she's like, let me take the phone. It's like, are you trying to get your friend fired? What are you doing? Obviously, she's been in so much other stuff. She was in Rent in the movie, and then also in the final production that was recorded on Broadway. But basically, Tracy Toms went on the show Catfish because she had a fan who was pretty intense and made these fake people up and then killed one off. The same person who had been very intensely following Tracy's career also followed Marissa after being on the Glee Project, and so Marissa came in for the episode and basically talked about her experience and shared some of the like very intense fan mail that she'd received. So yeah, as I say, after that though, I really couldn't find much about what she's been doing. She isn't very active on Twitter or on Instagram, so I don't have much information, but as I say, she was on that Catfish episode, so maybe check that out. Next we have Abraham, who went out in season 2. Abraham has been really successful actually. He's worked pretty consistently. He's been in a lot of TV and film stuff. He's a series regular on The Boys, which is an Amazon TV show. They've just released season 2. He's in Clickbait, which is going to be coming out on Netflix this year, and he just seems like he's really working hard. He's also very active on Twitter talking about social issues, which we love to see. Thank you, Abraham. Now we have Cameron Mitchell, my favorite. So Cameron is still doing music. He is still wearing his very cute glasses. Still breaking my heart. I'm sorry, guys, I'm sorry. That's my favorite white boy. I can't help it, I love him. Why do I embarrass myself like this on the internet? We will never know. I'm really sorry, I have to break it to all the girls, gays and theys. He has got a girlfriend of 3 years. She's a model. Moment of silence. I'm okay. I'm fine. What's wrong with me? Also, whilst I was doing some digging, apparently he grew up with Demi Lovato and dated her when they were in the 7th grade. Could you imagine if they'd stayed together and Demi Lovato and Cameron Mitchell were a power couple? I'd be very much here for it. I love both of them intensely. Intensely? Oh, for goodness sake. Next we have Shanna, who went out in season 2. Now Shanna is now a country star and goes by the name Harper Gray. She seems pretty spiritual. She's into lots of like manifestation, crystals. She's an out and proud lesbian, a win for the girls. She's also engaged. She posted the most beautiful video ever, where basically she proposed to her now fiance, and it was so cute. I can't even tell you. I'm gonna sneeze. No, I'm not. I watched this video and by the end I was sobbing, fully sobbing. It was so beautiful. So basically she made this like treasure hunt and she went to her fiance's daughter and asked if she could be a stepmom. So cute. Guys, I love love. So soft. Why am I so soft? She's also been named as one of the next women in country by CMT, and she's just smashing it. So yay for Harper Gray. Okay, next we have Hannah from season 1. Hannah now lives in North Carolina. She bought her first house last year. This makes me sound like a psychopath, but she shared it on the internet. I didn't go and hunt her down in North Carolina. She was in a film last year called 30 Days to Kick-Ass Love, and she's been in a few other episodes of like Awkward. I couldn't find a huge amount about her. Again, she's not super active on social media, but she's got a new house and she seems very happy. Next we have Lilly Mae Harrington. She got an Apple Watch the other day. This makes me again sound like a stalker. I was looking on her Instagram story and she was like, I got an Apple Watch. And I was like, that's quite funny. I'm gonna tell people that she got an Apple Watch, and yay for Apple Watches. I don't have one. Yay for her. She seems to go under the stage name LMH, and she has been releasing music pretty steadily. Okay, so I found this podcast that she was in that's basically like a musical podcast. So it's like a crime story. Basically, there's actors and they like sing parts of the story, and the music in it is beautiful. Her voice sounds amazing. I only listened to a bit of the first episode, but I'm so ready to go on a really nice long walk, listen to it, and just bask in beautiful musical theatre sounds. It's called In Strange Woods, so I definitely suggest checking it out. Amy Lovatt recommended, soon to be Amy Lovatt approved. Next we have Michael, who went out in season 2. Michael seems to be living in Nashville. He is pretty newly engaged. Apparently during like, I think it was November time, there was a tornado in Nashville. A lot of people in the area, their houses were kind of ruined, and basically he went to this shelter with his then girlfriend, and they were with all of these strangers trying to kind of sort out all of the wreckage of the tornado. And he said that in this like shelter, surrounded by all these strangers, they quietly decided together to get engaged, and I thought it was the cutest story. I'm so soppy today. Honestly, I don't know what's wrong with me, but like, how cute is that? I want that. Michael is now engaged to a lovely lady called Elizabeth, and he seems to still be performing pretty regularly. He is a guitarist. He seems to be in a band, I think. 3 cheers for Michael. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Okay, next we have Alex Newell, who is one of the biggest successes of the Glee project. Alex is also the person who was on the Glee project who went on to be on Glee for the longest amount of time. Alex has released solo albums. He has worked with bands like Clean Bandit as well, so he's done a lot of music stuff. I actually saw Alex when they were in Once on This Island on Broadway. Absolutely incredible. Honestly, seeing that much talent in real life was just incredible. That riff, I died. Alex's biggest role since the Glee project though is in Zoe's Extraordinary Playlist, where they are playing Mo, who is basically Zoe, the main character's neighbor. They're a DJ, and Alex has been nominated for a Critics' Choice Television Award, which is just incredible. Also, after my last Glee project video, Alex did send me a message because they had seen my video. I died. He was so lovely and so kind and just an absolute babe. Love it. Okay, next we have Eileen, who went out in season 2. Eileen is now dating a musician called Jared. She's living in LA. She's still acting and singing. She released some music and was in American Vandal on Netflix, as well as some episodes of The Fosters and 911. Again, not super active on social media, but she does seem to still be friends with people from the Glee project, and I love to see it. Next we have Lindsay Pierce, my absolute favorite. Lindsay is the person who, since the Glee project, I've pretty much followed her career solidly throughout. She used to live in LA and do these kind of rock concert musical shows. I think that's the best way to describe it. But basically she would post these sections of these shows where they do kind of rock versions of pop songs and stuff. It was amazing. I used to love watching all of her videos. But now Lindsay Pierce is Elphaba on Broadway. Not just Elphaba anywhere, on Broadway. I mean, obviously Broadway is closed at the moment, but Lindsay, when Broadway reopens, she will presumably go back in to playing Elphaba. And I just think it's amazing. It's great. She's so talented. She's also one of the nicest people ever. I've spoken to her a little bit since my previous videos, and she's just so lovely, so kind, and so friendly. She's engaged to a guy that she basically knew like 10 years ago when they were teenagers. so cute. She has a TikTok, she's really active on there, she's great. Joke about her all day long, she's amazing. Okay, next we have Ali Stroker, who was a finalist on season 2. Tony Award winner Ali Stroker. Ali has worked pretty consistently since the Glee project. She's done a lot of TV stuff. Right, I'm obsessed with The Bold Type on Netflix. She was in a few episodes of The Bold Type. She's been in shows like Faking It. She was just in an episode of Blue Bloods on CBS. And then a couple of years ago, she was in Oklahoma playing Annie Oakley at Circle in the Square, and she received a Tony Award for it. Absolutely incredible. She's the first wheelchair user to ever win a Tony Award. I think it's so inspiring. She seems like such an amazing person. She was in a Lifetime Christmas movie this year called Christmas Ever After. She seems to have been so busy throughout lockdown. She's done lots of virtual concerts, keeping herself active, keeping herself busy. Next, we have season 1 winner Samuel Larson. He was in a band called Bridges I Burn. He is in the After series, which I believe is based on books. So he was in the first After film, and then there's another one called After We Collided. His girlfriend was also in After We Collided. She is an actor. Her name's Vanessa. They were also in a short film together recently called Two of Us. He has a dog called Lenny. It does seem like he's still making music. He has a TikTok where he posted a little bit of stuff like the beginning of 2020, but doesn't seem to have posted anything since then. So Sam, if you're watching this, I'm sure you're not, but if you are, please post more TikToks. We want to see it. Next, we have Blake Jenner. He got married to Melissa Benoist, abused her, was cast on Supergirl because of her. He played a character I really disliked in Edge of 17. Yeah. Anyway, Damien McGinty, our final person and our season 1 winner. Damien is living in LA. He's married to a lovely lady called Anna, who is a wedding hairstylist. He is still releasing music. He released a song pretty recently, and he just seems to be having a great time. He's done concerts and, as I say, released music and things. So that is everybody from the Glee project. If I missed anything out or got anything wrong, please let me know. As I say, this is all just stuff that I did through many hours of internet research, but I hope you found this interesting. If you would like one of these, maybe for the main Glee cast or anything like that, then let me know. I hope you're all well, looking after yourselves, and I will see you soon. Bye!